All right, recording.
Okay, so welcome to our very second
Oh
podcast
yeah.
episode. Today we have an upcoming artist, supremely talented,
Oh,
Eric
thank you.
Eric Mustafa. We
Thank you.
say like in my pronunciation, like we say Mustafa
Yeah.
because my elder brother's name is also Mustafa. I don't think I told you
Oh,
that.
really? Eh?
Yeah. So we
Nice.
say
Oh,
Mustafa, but like you say Mustafa. So
yeah.
I'll introduce you as Eric Mustafa.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, guys. You know what? I was like, I watched your first one, and I was like pretty excited about coming on to this one. So so yeah.
Thanks, man.
But before we get started, I just want to say a quick thing because it literally just happened right now. Like fucking sad news, boys.
What happened, bro?
MF Doom just passed away.
R.I.P.
Like,
Never
like
heard of the
fuck.
guy though, but rest in
So
peace.
like he's a hip hop legend, like hip hop legend. I don't know what happened, like what he died from. I don't think they know yet, but like fuck, man, like that's fuck.
Rest in
But
peace.
yeah, yeah, rest in peace. But yeah, boys, don't mean to put the damper on the start there. Shit.
All right, so let
But
me get started with the first question, Eric.
yeah, yeah.
That is how you got into this music industry.
Um, so I went on a family trip to Italy, and I was like, like I was kind of like writing stuff down before then, but like when I went on this family trip, like I was listening to a lot of NWA and a lot of Ice Cube. And like of course Eminem was a given. I mean, that year I was listening, that was the only thing I was listening to the whole time. But like I think I was listening to a lot of what Ice Cube was like making, and I was like, yo, like that's like I want to do that. So like that's kind of what got me into it, was the like that inspiration. So like I had a little pen and pad and like my journal I brought so I could write down things from the trip. I started like jotting down, lines that were all not very good, but at the time I probably thought they were sick as fuck, and I was like, yo,
Right.
that's gas. But yeah, no. But yeah, so that's basically, I got into it just from that. So yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, give us a little bit of context on your background, like ethnicity, your family culture, and like just the whole thing. Like, do they support you and all that stuff?
Yeah. So my dad is Turkish, my mom is Scottish. So my full name is Erik Russell Mustafa, because Russell's a family name. Um, that's why, I mean, you can't see it right now, but I got a bit of a red beard. My mom has red hair, so that's the only thing I took from my mom. I look picture perfect to my dad. Uh, like, I mean, I guess like yeah, I would say they're pretty supportive. I mean, before we called, I was basically showing my sister like most of my album, like what I was working on, and like she's like, like critiquing it, whatever, telling me like, like that's pretty cool, like these things need some work, whatever. But like yeah, no, like I appreciate it, because like it's something I've had a lot of passion in. So like if my family's supportive, like, it's cool. It helps.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. All right, so I'll bring it back to the topic of music. What does music mean to you?
Whew. Music for me is just like, fuck, I'm gonna sound corny as fuck here. Like, man, music is escape, man. Like, that's where I escape from. Yeah, but like, no, like really though, like music is kind of like where I kind of get to escape my reality for a little bit, and kind of like let my emotions out, like what I have built up. Like, like you go out one day and like someone says something to you, now you're pissed off, so you write a song about it. Just like, even if you don't put it out, it's just like something you can just scream into a microphone with, and kind of get those raw emotions out without going up and punching the guy in the mouth. And like it's just, it helps a lot. Like it's kind of like a therapy in a sense. So yeah.
All right. So I guess that answers my second, actually my third question. How has it affected your life? Or like, do you want to add into that?
Yeah, I mean, like, how has it affected my life, like music, or like, yeah, I mean, I guess like I always kind of think about the situations I'm in a little bit more. Like I
Mm.
um like if it's like something going on in my life, like I'll think about different ways to look at it, and like different perspectives. So instead of just going like, oh, I'm so like fucking like this sucks, like this situation sucks, like I can look at like different ways to see, like, because like I'm always trying to write a song, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like I'm always trying to write a song. So let's say like something happens bad in my life, like I might write a song about the bad part about it, but then I might write a song about the good parts about it. So
Right.
like when I wrote my song Ocean Blue, I wrote two other songs that didn't make the cut. But
Right.
Ocean Blue is kind of like the surrounding, like just the feeling of like I miss you type of shit.
Mhm.
Like I like, like some stuff like that. And then there's a song called, the original version of it, Sunset Yellow, was about my ex-girlfriend, and about like the good times we had and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And like kind of speaking from the perspective of during the relationship instead of after it, which Ocean Blue was.
Mhm.
And then White Light was getting over her.
Yeah.
Kind of like White Light, like it's like the lyrics is like, I know you're going through a lot, see the white light guide me.
Right.
Like it's kind of like getting over those things. So like music helps me look at life in different ways, basically. What I said through that long-winded explanation there.
No,
But
no,
yeah,
thank you for that. We're here to learn about you and your perspective, right? And then
yeah.
bring it on to the other question that I was going to ask you. Who introduced you to music?
My dad. My dad introduced me to like a lot of music. The first rap song I ever heard was "The Message" by Grandmaster Flash. I don't know if you guys heard that song before,
I haven't.
but no, it's like it's one of those classics, man. Like, and I remember like I listened to that song so much. Like, I was probably like 8, like I was a little kid, and like my dad put that on and like just hearing that shit. I was like, yeah, like that's fire. Like, all right, put me in the back of his car, just like fucking little ass kid. But
Yeah.
like I mean, like I think like because he would always play like multiple genres in his car.
Mhm.
So the one like one of my inspirations in my music that I don't think really shows too much, but like it's still kind of there at times. The Doors, Jim Morrison. I don't know if you guys heard of them, but like one of the like biggest rock bands of their time, like in the '60s and early '70s. Um, he play like like anything like you do like like your ACDCs, Metallica, stuff like that. Like I was very broad as a kid in terms of music. Then like with
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the recovery album and stuff like that. So yeah, like yeah, it was my dad who introduced me to all this stuff. So
Makes sense. Makes sense.
yeah.
And then I'll hand it over to Matthew to ask more questions.
All right, boys.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I wanted to ask you, uh, what are your inspirations in terms of like why you make music?
Well, I mean, like why I make music is like as I said before, like it's kind of like a way to like escape for me and like let my emotions out. So I feel like as I was going through my life leading up to like grade 11, I felt like I wasn't able to actually like say my side. Like I wasn't really able to like express myself at all. So when this came around and I started working on it, started doing music, and when I started getting good at it, I felt like like this is the one thing that I'm like really solid at, and that's like if it's one of those things that I'm really good at, like I want to keep going at it because this is my form of expression and stuff like that. So I mean, like what inspired me would be just like my life, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And like
Yeah.
following up on that, like who inspires you to make music? Like, do you have like any specific particular artists, or is it just like genres, or like what inspires you?
I mean, like I feel like this artist inspired me in two different ways. So it was like Eminem is one of my biggest inspirations, no matter what. Like that's like I mean, like I have like Tupac. Like I would listen to Tupac like so much at one point where I started making songs that sounded like him. So I mean like Biggie was definitely one of my biggest inspirations too. As you can tell by the Coogee, so you got like
Bro,
Eminem, Biggie, huh?
no,
What
I
you
was just
saying?
about to say like I definitely fell into that trap at first, where I
Yeah.
was just like trying to like copy other artists
Yeah,
just to do
I
them,
know.
like
It's
before I
dangerous,
figured out like
man.
my own sound, you know?
Yeah,
I
it's like
know
yeah,
it's such a habit, honestly.
but you know what? Like I think that like everybody gets critiqued so hard for that stuff. And it's like, bro, like if you're a new artist, like and you're trying to find your sound, you're gonna sound like other people. That's just how
True.
it starts off
Of
as, you know what I
course.
mean? So but yeah, no, like I'd say Eminem, he inspired me in two ways. He inspired me like in my earliest stuff. Like if you listen to my earliest stuff, like I didn't even try to hide it. Like I tried to be like Eminem,
Right.
you know?
Mhm.
And like a lot of my music was lyrics that you would hear him say, even though they weren't near as good as what he would put together. It was like on that subject line. But um, he inspired me like to make music, but he's also inspired me to like change my style because from all the people kind of being like, you sound like Eminem, you sound like Eminem, you sound like Eminem. I'm like, okay, maybe I got to try something different. Something a little bit more, on the melodic side of things. So even though like when I rap, my voice does sound like that, but that's just natural. That's how I sound when I make music. So if I can balance that out with a different style to show that I'm trying to be myself, then like that's. But yeah, Pac, Biggie, Big L, big inspiration for me. Mac Miller, huge inspiration for me. He's one of my biggest inspirations right now at the moment because I just like I find like his music is so therapeutic and he's so talented and it's so sad that he passed away. But like he
Of
was
course, bro.
he was a great artist. I love listening to his stuff. But
Talent.
yeah, talent. Whoa, like
Absolutely.
that's an understatement to be honest with you. But yeah, no, there's probably a lot more that I just can't think of right now. But like obviously NWA, Ice Cube, and those guys, like
Mhm.
Easy E definitely, because like he was the short guy. I'm not too tall on my side, so like that's something for me. I was like, yo, he can do it. He's short as fuck, so I got this.
I
But
can
yeah,
relate to that, bro. I can relate.
yeah, 100%. But yeah,
What about your aspirations though? Like, what are you trying to achieve through your music?
well, like I mean, usually like, people say like, yo, I want to blow up, man. I want to be famous. I want to be this, that, and next thing. It's like, yo, like my biggest thing is I just want like people to hear me. You know what I mean? Like I don't want like if it comes with it, then cool. You know, like if people like me to the point where I become a bigger image, sweet, like that's cool. But like my main focus and why I don't try to drop like radio hits is because like um I just want like genuine fans and genuine people to listen to me be genuine. You know, like I want that type of fan base. Cause I mean, like my goal for this is to be heard and have people understand where I'm coming from. That's basically all it is. So yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I make music for me.
What about
I
the
guess.
message?
The message? I
Yeah,
mean, like
like
a
you're
lot of
trying to convey to your audience though.
yeah, I mean, like a lot of times, like my messages are like, you know, I try to keep my messages positive because I know like from like the subject matter of my music, like from what I'm talking about, a lot of people might be going through that shit. So if I say like, yo, it's fucking hopeless, like you're never gonna get out of this, like you're in a fucking hole. And even if that's the way I'm fucking feeling, like I'm not gonna sit here and say that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, people
Yeah.
are listening. Even though I'm making music for me, it's also a way of telling myself that, you know what, as low as I am right now, it will get better eventually. You know, and like don't dwell on it that much. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fair point. And then
What about
Oh.
Oh no, I was just about to say one last thing, Heather.
yeah, okay, go ahead.
No, so pretty much what I'm trying to say, until I move on to you is, what are you trying to achieve like in this field of occupation? So like as a musician in general, like what are you trying to reach for? Like what do you want to get out of this? Like at the end of the day, in terms of like
Mm.
the amount of success that you're looking forward to.
Ooh, solid question. I mean, like, I think kind of coming off of like what I said before, like, I just want to be heard. Like, I feel like that's one of my biggest things for me. Is just like, because a lot of people don't know this side of me. Like, from the people who know me in my life, like, you know, at work and stuff like that, they don't really know like who I am. So I feel like it's kind of like me expressing myself. So I mean, my goal, like, what I want to get out of this. Excuse me, boys. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Like my goal, like what I want to get out of this is kind of more so like um just like be myself and see what I can do with it, really. You know what I mean? Like I want to see where I can take it. And if I go far, then I go far. And like a lot of times in my music, like I'll talk about, you know, wanting that, like to blow up and stuff like that. And I feel like it's more so on the lines of like I want to be seen as a serious artist because I feel as though I'm a serious artist. And it's not like, oh, he takes himself so seriously. I mean, like I feel like you have to like a certain degree. But then like if you take yourself too seriously, then you know, you don't look as serious. But like, you know, like I want to like when you think about like a Kendrick Lamar, you know, he's also one of my inspirations, and J. Cole.
Of course.
Of course.
Um like I feel like that is like one of those like one of those guys when you talk about them, like you're like, yeah, that's a solidified artist. You know what I mean? So like I want that. I want that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yep. Makes sense, man. And then I'll carry it forward to my next question.
Yeah.
What does being an artist mean to you?
Whew. Jeez, boys, hit me with the grillers, eh? All right. What does an artist mean? Being an artist mean to me? Well, you know what? Like, I feel like with being an artist, like it just comes with fuck. Like, oh, that's a good question. I never thought of this one. I
If,
mean,
I mean, if you don't have an answer for it right now, like
yeah, no, like, I mean, I could probably come up with something in my head. Like being an artist in what way? Like just being an artist, like everyday artist, or like when you're making art?
an art, yeah, like what is your interpretation of artist? That is the question,
Mm,
actually.
okay. Well, I feel like art is like being an artist is like having that freedom, you know. That's why when you're living your everyday lives, like you're kind of like following a path set out for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can go to work, come home, go to bed, wake up, eat breakfast, go to work, go home, go to bed. Like that type of things. Like if you haven't, like if you're an artist, you know, like even if like I follow the same path of wake up, you know, eat breakfast, go to work, go home, go to bed, you know, like all throughout that day, I'm thinking about different things. I'm like, you know, oh, this is pissing me off. I can make something over this. And then when I go home, instead of going to bed, I can go home and do what I love, make a music, make a song, whatever, and then go to bed. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like it kind of opens the door for you in a lot of ways. So you don't just feel like you're going through the motions. So being an artist is definitely freedom.
So, keeping your definition of artists in mind, do you think there's a lack of genuine artists in the industry?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like when we were talking about everything yesterday, like it is a Pandora box of a question. And it's like one of those things you gotta watch what you say right now. But yeah, no, I definitely feel like there is. I feel like there's artists that just kind of do it for the money. They just kind of do it for, like it's not really a self-expression. It's not about the art. It's just, and like, hey, if you're in it for that, cool. Like, whatever, man. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, no, you can't do that because you're not in it for the same reasons I'm in it. So like, and that's kind of, that's not the right way to think about it. But like, I feel like everybody has that in the back of their mind, no matter what they're doing this for. Like, this type of industry comes with money. Like, at the highest level, like regardless. So
That's
it's like, what?
actually my second question, which is, what are the correct motivations for an artist?
Honestly, like for me personally, now, because I can't speak for everybody else, everybody has different motivations for why they do this. For me would be like why I do this, like sorry, what was the question again?
The question was, what are the correct motivations for an artist?
Yeah, okay, correct. Yeah, so what I think is correct is you're wanting to reach people, you're wanting to express yourself, and like, what, like motivation as in like, like it's not all about the money, even though a lot of the times it might be, but it's like, it's more so about the music. You gotta be motivated by the music. Like the music is number one. Like you shouldn't just put out lackluster shit if you have a big brand because you're gonna make money anyway.
Yeah.
Like how are you supposed to be legendary? Because I don't like, again, one of my aspirations, going back to your question, Matthew, is like basically what I was trying to say there is like I just don't want to be another guy. Like I want to push my envelope every single time I make something. So when I come to my next project, people get like, what is he gonna do now? And like I'm like I don't want to be just another guy. I want to be a fucking legend. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want. Yeah.
Respect.
But yeah.
And then that ties in with the next question, which is Matthew. The next question.
That's right. So pretty much like I heard somebody say this once, but they said like people enjoy the fruits of the labor rather than the labor itself. And so the truth is when you're an artist or a producer, like the lifestyle can be great if you achieve that success. But like at the end of the day, people do it for the lifestyle as opposed to truly loving the music.
Yeah.
And when we're on the topic of success, I wanted to ask you, what does success mean to you?
Making $1 million. No, I mean, hey, that would be cool.
That's the right answer.
That would be cool, man. Like, hey, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not trying to be like, yo, man, like, I don't want the money at all. Like, no, like, I mean, if it came with it, that's cool. But no, like, in all seriousness, like, man, like, I mean, I guess it kind of rolls in with this point of success. Like, if I can reach somebody and I can help somebody, like, then I'm successful. I mean, right now I've already been successful because I've had people come to me like on DMs and stuff. Like, dude, like, I got like 400 followers. Like, I'm not big at all, but like, I personally feel like I deserve a lot more because I don't feel like my music is worth 400 followers. But I mean, it's tough. Like, I can't sit here and complain about it. I guess I just gotta work harder. But like even at the platform I'm at right now, and people listen to my music and they say to me, yo, like, you're one of my top 10 artists of this year, and like you helped me so much. And I don't mean to be like that guy who's like, yo, like, I had people coming up and saying like they helped me. Like, no, like genuinely, like that means something to me. Like that's like huge to me. Like that means that people are hearing me and people are understanding my side, and also that other people feel the same way and that I'm not alone with what I'm feeling. So yeah.
Right.
You pretty much just answered my next question. I just said, have you achieved success yet? I don't know, man.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I feel like I kind of have. So I feel like, but I want more. Like, I want more of that. So like, even though I've achieved a bit of it, I want more of it. You know what I mean? Because if you just get a little bit and you're good with a little bit and you're complacent, then like, okay, then I like, see, boys, like I'm not an artist anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or why would I stop at that when I can have so much more when I'm capable of it, in my opinion? So yeah.
Moving forward to the next question. You know how people tie in success with numbers, and usually when it's a success, like you feel really good, but when it completely tanks, then like it really takes a toll on your mental health.
Yeah.
So how does success of your music or just you as an artist affect your mental health?
Well, for the longest time there, before I put out my single Bad Boy, I mean, I would get like maybe 400 streams max. Like it was tough. Like I would really have to try and promo and stuff like that. And it's, but like I put out Bad Boy and I hit like 14,000 streams on it. I'm like, whoa, like that's different. You know what I mean? Like that never happened before. So then that was like one of those moments where like before, when I was starting to put out music and I felt like no one was hearing it, I was kind of like, fuck, like I feel like I'm just kind of speaking and screaming into a wall. You know what I'm talking about? Like no one's listening to me.
Yeah.
Like, and it would bother me because that's how I feel like in my like at the time, like how I felt like in my everyday life. Like no one's taking their time out to just hear me, man. Like it's a 3-minute song. Like you can take the second to just hear it. But like when Bad Boy came out and I got like 14,000 plays on Spotify alone, I was like, holy shit! Like the people heard that. That's 14,000 people. Now, like obviously, I'm like not big yet. Hopefully, I might get a little bit bigger. But
One day.
one day, man, you just got to keep working. Everybody wants it, but they don't work for it, man. But um, like at the point where I'm at right now, 14,000 people, regardless, is a lot of people, man. You put 14,000 people in a room, it's not very COVID friendly, So like, like, and then I hit like Ocean Blue is one of my most successful songs, and I say that due to numbers as well because I feel like it was definitely like more than just numbers. Sorry, it was definitely like taking a chance with my artistry. I mean, I never sang like that before in a song ever. And when I realized I could do it, I was like, wait, I can open up this lane. Like I could take somewhere. Like I could take this somewhere. And so that was something big for me.
Right.
But yeah, like I I think it's at about 130,000 to this day right now, and it's climbing still, which is crazy. And even though it's like it's not just a number, like you make money for it, obviously, like it comes in with the stream count, but like it's so much more than just the number because with the number, there's actual people there.
Right. Yeah.
There's people listening, and that's why I've always wanted to keep everything organic. I mean, right now I could have 12,000 followers on my Instagram account, but are they going to be real followers? You know what I'm saying? Like you can buy them, but like 12,000 followers of what? They're just bots. They're not going to actually, and like that's what kills me, man. A lot of people do that. It's like, so you have 200,000 streams on your song, but 50,000 of them are real. So you only have 50,000 streams, bro. Like,
Yeah.
so like it's all about like I want like that reach of like you know the success in numbers is also like the success of people hearing you. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I'll move it forward and ask you my next question. And
Yeah,
because previously you said that Ocean Drive was about a breakup.
yeah, Ocean Blue, Ocean Blue.
Ocean
Yeah,
Blue, Ocean Blue.
yeah, it's all good, it's all good.
My bad, my bad.
Hey
Um,
man, fuck you, man. What the fuck is your problem, man?
I think Ocean Drive was Joji's song or something.
Yeah, maybe. I think like there's a lot of
I mixed
ocean
it up.
like.
I mixed it up with that because that's what was going on in my mind. I was like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
Ocean
Yeah,
Drive.
that's all
But
good,
it's
man. It's all
Ocean
good.
Blue, it's Ocean Blue.
Yeah,
So since that was about a breakup, right? So I mean, you
yeah,
obviously had like emotions going into that song. So
yeah.
my question is like, how do you channel your emotions into your music? And when you do that, how is it therapeutic for you?
Well, I mean, actually, I gotta shout someone out real quick. Like one of my friends, Catherine, she helped me a lot with that stuff. Like, I mean, everything I write is like me. I don't like other
You don't have any
people.
ghostwriters like Drake.
Yeah, no, like I don't like anybody like writing for me or helping me write something. So like, but the one thing she inspired me was because I said to her, I was like, yo, like I got so much shit in my mind, I just don't know how to put it down in writing form. Because a lot of the times, like if you're really like there's been times where I've been really down and I can't pull any emotion out to actually write something. I think it's not inspired at all. Um, so and that's how I was feeling. And I was like, yo, like, can you like do you have any like advice or whatever? Because she writes poems. So she's like, well, I write poems about colors and how colors are emotions to me. So um, like Ocean Blue, I sell blues like blues like sadness. Um, so but also blues like it can see be as like water as in like regeneration and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, like I'm probably gonna run with the more sad part of it, and I'll be able to. So like when I was making the songs, I put the beat on, and I was like, it literally clicked. So I see blue and I look at you, you're the ocean of my life, you're the tears that drain my eyes. And like when that was going, I was like, yeah, that's it right there. So when I get the chorus, now I'm like, okay, now I can write this shit. So and then like if like what I'm putting out now with Ocean Blue, then Fantasyland, and then my next single, Hi Goodbye, they all have a color to them because those are the colors of like what I'm feeling. So I'm kind of using the, what color do I feel right now. So like that's what I've been using for this album, but a lot of it now is that I'm able to kind of channel my feelings better than I could before. So like with my last album, like there was 11 songs and that was it. There was only 11 songs at the time. Like I didn't have like 2 or 3 more projects that I was sitting on. Like that's all I could muster. So now like I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, I already know what I'm gonna do for the next project. I got like 5, 6, 7, 8 songs that I'm not gonna put out on this project because I'm gonna have the next project. So like I'm able to like channel things better now because I'm also trying not to try too hard. Because before, when you think about it, it's like, yo, like, okay, I'm listening to this guy and like listen to all that wordplay. I got to do something like that. But it's like realistically, like that just comes naturally if you're just writing. But yeah.
That makes sense. All right. So since we've talked a lot about success, what are your strategies to become recognized?
Honestly, man, that's something I'm still trying to figure out. Like that's tough. That's hard, man. That's like I think that's like I wish I had the magic code for it, but at the same time, like if everybody had the magic code for it, no one would be, you know, everybody would just be a famous person. But like, um, yeah, like I've been trying so much like promo and trying to get those Instagram ads going, and I've DM'd like that rap account on Instagram. I don't know if you guys know that account. It's just
Yeah.
called Rap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just trying to muster up the strength to drop the amount of money for that promo. So but
How
I feel
do
like
you want to disclose that information?
no, it's okay. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, like it's not cheap though. Like no matter what you're trying to do, like promo costs money, but like a lot of artists don't like to invest in that because they don't feel like that's worth the investment, but it really is because there's only so much
Let me just
to talk for you. Yeah, go ahead, man.
let me just say something real quick. Don't like get involved in these like promo accounts. Trust me, let me tell you right now.
Oh yeah.
I lost like $50, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Just forget it.
I had one guy DM
Forget
me.
it.
He's like, bro, I can get you 25K tonight. I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah,
I
I'll get you
know.
25K tonight.
Yeah,
I was like, oh okay.
that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Like when I was getting into beats, like I was like, okay, here's $50, and then he was just like, oh, screw it, and then he was just like, he didn't promote me at all, and then he was just like, you know what, if you give me $300, you could just have my account. And I was just like, hell no, fuck no, because you're not gonna give it to me. I already lost like $50 from him, and I was just like, nope, I'm not losing 300. And this is when I was broke as hell. I had no job, I had nothing.
Yeah, man. You know,
So
like,
it was like,
yeah. No, I see where you're coming from. Like, they like to feed. Like, even though I haven't been in the industry yet, I have a story. I got this one DM, and it was like basically saying like, "Yo, this producer. I'm not gonna say the name of the producer, but big name, big name. He produced for Rick Ross. That's all I'm gonna say. He's like, "Yo, like, we heard your stuff, and we want to get in touch with you and email us this, that, and the next thing, and you can get a feature with Juicy J and stuff like that." And I'm sure Juicy J had no part in it, obviously, because it was a whole scam. But it's kind of crazy to see how
How did you know it was a scam?
well, because I looked it up before I did anything. I was like, because I looked up the guy's name, like the guy who DM'd me, and there was like other people saying like, yeah, like this account .ceo because it would always be .ceo. So
Right.
this one was called johnpaul.ceo, and I was like, John Paul,
Doesn't sound
John
made up
Paul,
at all.
John Paul. And I was like, and then eventually I was like, this fucking guy named himself after a pope, bro. It's like Pope John Paul just fucking messaged me, and I was like, yeah, okay. But I was like John Paul. So
That's even worse than Johnny Sins.
yeah, imagine that.
oh my god, bro, don't even.
Yeah,
Don't
but
even.
no, like John Paul, like John Paul.ceo, another guy had a different name .ceo, and they're all like, this guy, like the one guy went through with it, thinking that it was legit, and they milked him like thousands of dollars,
Oof.
and it was like, yo, like okay, and I told the guy to go fuck himself because like don't come in here, but that's crazy. To like, I'm not even in the industry yet, you know what I'm saying? Like when you think about it, I'm just like I'm just kind of on the sideline right now, and
It's already happening.
yeah, it's already there. Like it's crazy when I see stuff like that, I'm like, whoa, bro. Like you gotta keep everything. Like your cards gotta stay close to your chest.
Be careful.
Like that's crazy.
Bro,
Yeah.
honestly, that's why I don't know about like what your thoughts are on this, but like me personally, I feel like if the music is so unique and so good, like
Yeah.
I'm talking like nobody's ever heard it before, anything like it, or it's and it really resonates with people, everything from the sound to the lyrics, I feel like it'll advertise itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like
Like
to a
that's
certain
just my
degree though.
mentality.
Yeah, like to a certain degree though, because I think I said that earlier. I
Of
was like
course.
the music can speak for itself to a certain point. Because if you're
Yeah.
not putting it out there so people can hear that uniqueness and that nuance of that music, how the fuck are they gonna hear it? You know what I mean? Like no one's gonna be introduced to it. But I see what you're saying. Like to that point, it speaks for itself when you do the promo and people hear it and they go, yo, this is sick. And then they keep playing it. And then they show it to their friends. That's when the music talks for itself. But you have to be able to like you gotta push it there first, you know?
Yeah,
True,
So
true, true.
definitely.
yeah.
All right, I'll move it on with my next question, which is,
Yep.
What is your music like? Like, tell us more about your music. Like, what is the general tone of your songs? Like, what's
Um, yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, a lot of my music recently, uh, like I listen to a lot of Faces. I don't know if you guys know that album, Mac Miller, Faces. But
my friend would know that.
yeah, like,
Yeah, I
and that
know it.
that album, like when I was listening to it, I was like, this is like very me right now.
Right.
This is how I feel right now. And it's just like like I talk a lot about death in my music
Mm-hmm.
because like I feel like it's not something to be afraid of, but it's
Right.
something to be curious of. And like when I talk about it, I'm kind of like, like if it happens, it happens. But and I got a point for that later, but I'll stay on topic. I feel like the tone of my music is usually kind of darker. It's more serious. Because I don't want to come out and just be like corny in that sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I mean, if like we were joking about it before the podcast, and we were talking about like be yourself. Like don't try to be anything you're not, right?
Yeah.
And like I feel like it's totally corny if you were to press that record button and I was like, yo, like what up, like gang signs and shit, like fuck, like come on, like you know what I mean? Like a lot of people do that, and that's why a lot of people don't make it too far because eventually your facade will be
Exposed.
uncovered. People will know. But yeah, like I'm trying to remember what the question was. See, it's
No, no.
always
I guess that
yeah,
answers everything. I'll move it on to my next question, which is,
yeah.
who are your songs meant for? Like, who's supposed to relate to it? Like, what's the age
Mm.
cohort you're trying to go for?
I mean, like for me, my songs are anybody who feels like they're kind of lost. You know what I mean? Like they need like they feel like they're on this road by themselves, and because like that's what I say in my music. And like for me, when I hear people's songs, like especially like when I listen to Mac Miller's Faces, and I'm hearing this, and he's like talking about drugs and like how he feels like he's going down the wrong path, and there's nothing he can do to change that. And like when I heard that, I was like, yo, like that's someone I can relate to, So like that was something like, so I feel like anybody who feels the way I feel, lost, depressed, substance abuse things and stuff like that. I mean, like I wouldn't say addict because that's different. That's a different thing.
Mm.
But definitely like abuse of substances would be a fair um, um, phrase to use for where I'm at right now. But like like just like um, I guess like when it comes to age cohorts, I mean like I say this a lot. Like it's all about the open mind. Because I mean, like right now, the target audience that I hit, even though I didn't mean to, or like strive to actually hit, it kind of just happened. Was kind of like my age area, so like 20 years old, like you got like 18 to 22, like that kind of gap.
Mhm.
I don't normally expect younger people to understand my music, like under 17,
Yeah.
maybe 16, like would be like that block of like where it would start for people to actually get what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Because I feel like a lot of like younger kids, and like I remember I had this one kid on my comment section on my first EP I put out, 17 years later EP, and yeah, it was a pretty solid project for like where I was at the time. And this little 12-year-old comments, he's like, "This shit garb." I was like, "Okay, little Jimmy, okay."
Probably the same kid
Like
who plays Fortnite and attended Travis
yeah, and yeah,
concert.
yeah. I mean, like, I was kind of like, I was like, "Okay, Jimmy, like, you know what? Go listen to fucking like
Meet me
I don't
outside.
even know."
But how do you know his name is Jimmy though? How do you know his name is Jimmy?
Oh, dude, I'm just saying a random name, man. Like, I have no idea. I like see. I don't let things like that sit in my mind. Like, I'd be worried if I knew the exact account name and I just
Jimmy,
said it right there, because then like buddy's having a
Jimmy's living
fucking
in his head rent free.
Paranoid
yeah,
about
rent free, man. He's posted up in there. He's rent free voice, but yeah, no, fuck. But
All right,
yeah.
we'll move it along to Matthew. Matthew, do you want to ask him the next question?
Yeah, of course. So what I'm getting from this podcast is that me and you are similar in a lot of ways. Like we
Yeah.
love the music and the culture behind it. Like that's the priority of what
Yeah.
we're focusing on right now, right? And all the fruits of the labor and everything that comes with it. Obviously, we'd love to have that too, but at the end of the day, we care so much about our craft that like we're willing to do anything to make it as perfect as we possibly can. But
Yeah.
at the same time, me and you, we know we got a lot of negativity, a lot of criticism.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I'm gonna ask you, how did the negativity affect you?
Well, I mean, at first the negativity, because I wasn't used to it, it really shot me down. I was kind of like, well, I started making music in grade 11, and I wasn't received very well. I don't need to get into it. We don't have
Mhm.
enough time for that
Yeah,
shit. But
I mean, you can say it if you want. Like, we have all the time in the world. It's a podcast.
it's okay. We don't need to give any of that attention. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They, who are they, right? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like basically just like I started in grade 11, and I had some issues with some people, and I tried to sort that through my music, and eventually, like, what, I kind of just hated it, like, because of all the negativity, and so I hated it. Like, I stopped. I was like, fuck this, I don't want to do this. Like, what am I doing? Like, and I like, for the most part, like, when it came to the breakout, um first, for a good amount of time, like, breakout was my first song, for the listeners who have no idea who I am, so all of them. um like, the breakout was my first single that I ever put out. And for the longest time in my life, I often referred to that as the biggest regret I've ever, like, my biggest regret. Like, the thing I would change would be putting out that song. And then during grade 12, I was just kind of writing stuff. I wasn't really making music. But I wrote shit for the system in grade 12. And Matt, that's when I rapped that for you.
That's the
Do you
one
remember that first
bro.
part?
That one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, like, yo, I had some
I
bars
mean,
in that, man. I had some bars.
You did though.
Like,
But I
yo,
can't lie, you improved a lot.
yeah, man. Because I remember when that song came to fruition, like, because I made that song, I had to re-record it, because when I recorded it the first time, I still wasn't good. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm great now, but, like, I wasn't good at all when I recorded it for the first time. And I made that beat myself. So on that song, like, that's one of the only things I've really produced thus far. I just got now, so, like, I'm gonna be able to, like, make my own stuff soon. So I'm excited about that, because I got a lot of things in here, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, like, so I just had to, like, re-record it, and then when I put it out, and I remember you messaged me, Matt. You're like, yo, you proved that you could do this. Because I remember that. I remember you saying that to me. Like, yeah, you said you proved to everyone that you can do this. And I was like, fuck you.
With the song that you showed me.
Yeah, Shit for the System. That's the song name.
I remember that song that you had, Do You Know? Remember
Oh, yeah,
one?
that was my first single. So Shit for the System was, I put out Breakout. I put out that EP, My Mind EP, which is horrible. I'm not thinking back on it back. But you know what, though? Off of that, the fact that I was able to take that from somewhere and make it something better, and, like, where I am now, like, it's all stepping stones, boys. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not gonna sit here and dog on it, like, oh, it's horrible. Like, it wasn't horrible. It was just, what, someone trying to figure out how to make music.
Yeah.
But
Did you struggle did you struggle, like, trying to figure out sort of, like, what genre or, like, you were even going for? Because I felt that personally. Like, when I started, I didn't even know what I was
I knew exactly what I
just trying to
wanted for it. Yeah, I mean, I knew exactly what I was gonna go for at first. Like, I just want to be a rapper, like, just a rapper. Now I want to be more than that. I want to transcend the genres. Like, going a little bit R&B. Like, if I can go into a little bit of rock music, like, yo, that's cool, man. Like, because I just don't want to be a rapper. You know what I mean? Because that has a silly little connotation to it. It's like, like, you're a rapper, okay? You gotta be fucking, like a fucking.
You have to be blinged out. You have to be wearing gold
Yeah.
chains.
Yeah, and like, I don't agree with that. I feel like it's still art, and, like, you can be whoever you want when it comes to your art. That's why, like, my genre of rap and what I've been categorized as, is more so of abstract rap, because I feel like it kind of strays from that norm, and I can kind of be more who I am, instead of everybody trying to be a gangster rapper nowadays. That's the worst thing, when I see people from this area trying to be gangsters. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not a gangster, man. Like, I didn't have to go through those type of things. I'm glad I didn't. There's a lot of kids, like, especially when I was 17, off the song Bad Boy, which I talk about, buying, like, a replica gun so I could scare people and try and make myself look tougher and try and get cred. Like stuff like that. Like, people go out of their way, but they're putting themselves in danger at, like, the most part. Like, that's the problem with it. You're trying to be something that somebody already is, but they don't want to be. Like, you want to be a kid from the ghetto. But that kid in the ghetto wants to be that kid from the suburbs, because they don't want to be living where they are right now. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like just be you. Like, it's almost an insult to turn around and be like, yo, I don't want to be from here. I want to be from there. Because that's how I was at the start of mine. Like, I didn't want to be. I hated this area. I live in Oakville, right? And it's kind of more of a suburb area. And as I was trying to become that thug image, I hated this area, because this area wasn't a ghetto. You see what I'm saying? So I was trying to be something I wasn't. So what I'm saying is, like, I feel that's almost insulting to people who are in those low income areas who want to get out of it. Like, why the fuck would you want to go into it? You know what I mean? Because, like, yeah. I mean, I lost what I was saying, boys. I'm going on tangents now.
Matthew, you continue with the questions.
Yeah. So, like, what about your mental health? Like, how did the negativity? I think you already answered that, but
Yeah, no.
I think you
Oh,
already
the
answered it.
last
I don't want
question.
to turn this into a therapy session, but yeah.
No, yeah, no. The last question, real quick, the last question you said about like how did I take the negativity? Because now I remember it now. Um, it killed me at first, but I was able to kind of build off of it. And now, like, if I get critiqued, like if it's like a disingenuine critique where it's someone just trying to knock you down, okay, go away. But now I know how to take constructive criticism, and I understand that. And when it's a negative criticism that's just negative and there's nothing you can pull out of it that can help you, I just kind of throw that by the wayside. But anyway, your new question, my mental health. Um, yeah, I've been dealing with like a lot lately, So and like, my new album talks a lot about that. Because I said like, Fantasyland is one of the songs of that album, one of my most recent singles that just came out right now. Um, it's kind of like a lot of people listen to it and they hear the start of it and they're turned off by the start of it because it's just kind of like it has a different sound to it. Excuse me. Um, but then as soon as the singing comes in, they like it. And I thought that worked out perfectly because how the intro of the song goes is that's reality. That's everything that I have to deal with in my everyday life. And then when the singing comes in, that's fantasy. So that's everything that I can't, or I feel as though I can't achieve. So a lot of the happy things I say in that song when it talks about peacefulness and um, letting things go and being self-loving, stuff like that, like it's in the fantasy land. So it's a sad song, but it's like a lot of my songs I want to disguise them as happier songs and with a happier sound because I feel like you know everybody always listens to those like lo-fi, slow, just kind of kill your mood type of thing. And like it
Yeah.
makes you more sad when you listen to them. And I feel like on my new single, like the one that's gonna be coming out very soon, Hi Goodbye. I mean, I played a little snippet for you guys. I might do that today too. It's just it sounds happy, but it's not. It's kind of a contrast, and I love doing those contrasts now. And so yeah, but yeah, like a lot of struggles with substance. I mean, it's been a constant theme in my music, especially on my last album, Drugs and Side Effects. That was like the whole struggle with, trying to, I guess, like trying to just be sober and like, because I would use things. I'll just say things because I know, family's gonna watch this. I don't want to make it awkward for them, but and it would just kind of like, it was my way of coping with a lot of the things I go through, and like sometimes I still do it. So, I mean, some of the album, most of the album, a lot of the album, basically the whole album talks about use of drugs. You know what I mean? So like, and I feel as though like, you know what, that's part of my life right now. So I mean, regardless if it's right or wrong, if I should talk about it or if I shouldn't talk about it, again, my music is me. I don't have an A&R. I don't have a record label to tell me otherwise, and the hell if they should. I wouldn't listen to them anyway, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, like, yeah.
I wouldn't trust like major record labels and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
honestly, it's better that you're independent right now.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to ask you, like, are you motivated by the negativity of people? Like whether negativity in the sense like not constructive criticism, because I don't consider that negativity, but just the negative personal attacks and stuff like that. Like, did that motivate you to like work on your music?
So here's the thing with that. Like, I feel like I fed off more of that like earlier on, but all that created was angry music. And I feel like if all you're motivated by is people shitting on you, it gives them too much merit. You know what I mean? Rather than just letting it flow off your back, water under the bridge. Who gives a fuck? You're sitting there on your phone saying that, this shit is trash. Well, 100 other people in the comment section just said this shit is fire. You're the only guy. You're the outlier. So it's like, okay, man, fuck, kick rocks. I don't know you. Like, I'm not gonna let you actually have that impact on my brain. Like I feel like, yeah, let it motivate you to a point where you feel like, you know what, like I'm gonna do better. Like you can always do better, but like I wouldn't say let that be your primary source of motivation because that's not healthy either. If you're waiting for people to just hate on you, like you're probably gonna end up making music that will get hated on. So you keep getting hating on, and that's not good for your mental health, man. That's why that's one of the things I try to do with my music too. Like I'm trying to make it sound happier sonically, but I'm still explaining like my thoughts. But like if you make sad music, you're just gonna be sad. You know what I mean? Like it puts you in that mind frame. So like if you listen to sound music, you're gonna be sad, right? So if you make it, you're writing things, you're coming through those thoughts. And it's just kind of like, like if you're always angry, you're not gonna be able to enjoy yourself at all. But yeah,
Mhm.
so I'd say like
So no, it's fine. You can continue.
no, it's the leg, so like we get delayed, so but it's all right. But yeah, no,
Oh
like
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
like yeah, like what I was saying before, like I think my motivation is just that want to do better. Like I've always wanted to do better, like regardless anything I'm passionate about, like I'll see it and I will want to like improve it as much as I can, you know. So
You know, as messed up as this is, like for me personally to ask you,
mhm.
I feel like I've had like we've both had constructive criticism and negative criticism,
Yes, sir.
like just personal attacks.
Yeah.
I feel like personally, every single bit of negativity that I got, when it was constructive criticism, like from Heather and stuff, and like from my friends, that was good and that helped me. But I felt like the negativity that like I had sleepless nights from like people just straight up shitting on
Yeah,
whatever I
bro.
was doing. As messed up as it is, I felt like I was able to really elevate and really work that much
Yeah.
harder and put in the hours day out. Do you think that with that extreme toxic negativity, did that allow you to? I know this is a messed up question. Did
Yeah.
that allow you to like elevate to a higher level as opposed to what you would have gotten if you were just criticized like constructively from like
I
people
yeah.
that support you and people around you?
I feel like that the bluntness of the negative comments on my music was kind of more so a wake up call in a sense. Like, you know, everybody's like, yo, you sound like Eminem, you sound like Eminem, you sound like Eminem. I was like, okay, like fuck, like I gotta try and do something new here. Like I gotta try and figure something out. You know what I mean? But like again, I won't give those people merit. Like not at all. Like I won't give anybody credit for, oh, you know what, if you didn't hate on me, I wouldn't be here. So like with saying things like that, and I see where you're coming from. Cause like, yeah, like I felt like, you know what, like fuck these guys, I want to do better. Like I want to prove them wrong. I mean, like, I'm not gonna mention any names, but I have guys who used to say things about my music coming up and saying to me, yo, bro, like your shit is fire now. And that's better than turning around going like, fuck you, man. It's like, no, man, you know what? This guy's turning around now and he's saying he likes my stuff. So it's like, hey, man, there you go. My music spoke for
Yeah.
itself. My artistry spoke for itself. I didn't have to go and go up in the guy's face and say, yo, fuck you and shit like that. Like, no, I don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
Like I just let my music go and do
But
what
it,
it's
but
doing.
it,
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
but it took somebody with an open mind to see the potential in it,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't good. And that was a point that when I was talking to you yesterday, you brought that up.
Yeah.
That was a good point. Like a lot of people see it for face value. They don't see like the potential
Oh
in
yeah.
it. But you have people around you that were yes men that turned, that you got rid of that side of them and
Yeah.
just pretty much
Yeah, because
they saw the potential
yeah.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about like you gotta surround yourself with people that can kind of like push your limits. Don't surround yourself with people that are gonna be like, yo, that's fire, man. Like,
Yeah.
I just put out dog shit and you're telling me that shit's fire. Like, come on. Like, like there was a point where I was kind of like, you're lying to me. You know what I mean? Like I can tell when people are lying to me when they go, yeah, it's good, it's good. And it kind of just be like, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna prove if you're just gonna tell me it's good because I'm gonna keep doing this. So like I mean, if there's viewers on the podcast, anybody watching right now, but like if you have a friend who makes music, don't fucking sit there and go, yeah, man, it's good, dude. Like if it's dog shit, like don't be mean, but be like, yo, man, like, hey, like don't take any offense to this. This is meant to help you. This is what I think you can work on. Because I tell you, in the long run, they might get their ego hit a little bit in the moment, but that's gonna help them out so much. Like I feel like that was a big thing with my friends. Like when they started kind of telling me things like I can improve on and stuff like that, that was huge. Like Will Leathers, like he's always been one to help me out with my music. Like he was the one that kind of helped me start in my music.
Mhm.
And yeah, he'll listen to the things, like he will know what's not good and what's good because he is musically gifted. So he can tell like, what sounds right. You know what I mean? So like there's a lot of that like um you know
Yeah,
that
makes
help there. But yeah.
looks like Playboy Cardi didn't have friends like you did to tell him that his songs are dog shit. Yeah,
I'm throwing the key out the like zip it up, throw the key out the fucking window. I'm not saying shit. You trying to get me in trouble.
damn, you really want to feature with Playboy Cardi?
Huh?
You really want to feature with
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I want to shoot my foot before I even get in the door.
Yo, Pierre,
Oh my God, bro.
I'll move it on to the next question. So when rappers or any artists when they make songs, like when you're trying to like propagate a message, you're supposed to have sufficient knowledge to talk about it, right?
Yep.
So how important is it, in your opinion, for artists to be knowledgeable? Like, do they really need to have all that knowledge to make good songs?
like musical knowledge or
Or
like
just
history
general,
knowledge?
general knowledge.
Okay, because when it comes to history knowledge or musical knowledge, like theory, shit like that, how to play piano, how to play guitar. Right now, I'm just learning how to play piano. Right.
Mhm.
I feel like for me, I know what sounds good. Like I had people come up to me and go like, "Yo, like your beat selection's always fire. Like you always have fire beats." And of course, thank you to Monsieur Spilljack down there with the yeah. Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Fucking Siri going off on me now. But yeah, no, like
Siri agrees with you, bro.
yeah. But yeah, like I think that like if you have a sound for it, if you have an ear for it, you don't need to know all that shit about it, but it's definitely something you can use to push yourself forward. Like that's why I want to learn piano so I can actually, sit there and make my own beats and like because there's a lot of things I have in my head and it speaks to my music more if it's my musicality too and not just my words. Um like right now, like I mean, like when it comes to like the music knowledge, like I've figured out pitch, what sounds good on the pitch and stuff like that, uh, and how to sing and shit like that, man. Like I had to teach myself these things. But in terms of history, like music history, uh, especially more so for the genre, like specifically for the genre that you're in, you have to know it. It kills me when these rappers come up and they have no idea who like fucking Rakim was.
Right.
They're like, who? Like a lot of these SoundCloud, and like I won't talk about anybody, big right now because who am I to talk about them? Like I'm a little artist, so I'm not gonna sit here and start, uh, hissing at the big cat. You know what I'm saying? So um, like I'd say for the people like, especially around here, like when you get those guys that kind of try to make music and it's like SoundCloud rap and they're just mumbling and shit, and it's like, yo, like, have you listened to this artist? There's people who don't even know who Tupac is, or they know who Tupac is but don't know his music,
Right.
or they don't know Biggie, but they know Hypnotize.
Mhm.
It's like, and those are like big artists, but they don't know because they have no background in it. All they want to do is start making the music, and it's like, yo, like you have to be able to. Also, one of my inspirations, Outkast, Andre 3K, and Big Boy, huge inspiration to me. Anyway, um, um, like, like you have to have that background knowledge, even if it's not the music you're trying to make. It's just so disingenuous if you turn around and you start making this music. Educate yourself, man. Know what music you're making. Know what this music came from. Like, it kills me when I see people like, yo, stop trying to be political, just rap. Shut up. Uneducated comments like that just piss me off because it's like you don't know what rap was created to be. It's a political, like it was not political. It was a protest. It's a form of protest, right? For the black community back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. Like that's like when it first started because it was against everything else. It was a completely different sound. It's not something you'd expect. Like where'd it come from? Stuff like this. Like, what was it for? And people go, yo, don't try to be all political with it. Man, like, really? But like you have to be able to like know those things. So knowledge wise, in a sense of English language, whatever language you're writing in. For me, obviously it's English language. Uh, you got to be able to be smart with what you're saying. And this is what's going on today. Holy moly.
Oh, good man.
There we go. Yeah, excuse me guys. But you know what? Like for me, with my type of music that I'm making, I want to be clever, quick-witted, smart with what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Because that's the style of music I want. I want people to go and go, oh, swing that back. What do you say? Like that line in Ocean Blue. I
Mhm.
thought we say our vows like a spelling bee. Makes no fucking sense until you think about vow. What does vow sound like?
What do you mean?
Like vow, like or vows, right?
Mhm.
Like vows, Sarah vows, so they get married,
Sounds
right?
like vowels.
Vows, like a spelling bee.
Yeah.
So like vowels as in words, like the
Like,
sounds and the
yeah.
words and shit. So like it's like little things like that, and that's not one of my strongest word plays. But I mean, like I'll say like my one bar from Dirty Secrets. Um, when I talk about like the trains line, I forget how that goes right now. I'm drawing a blank, but fuck.
Man doesn't even know his own lyrics.
I know. Man, I look like an idiot right
You
now.
gotta get used to this.
Like, let me put it down. You know what? Because here, one sec, boys. Here, Dirty Secrets. Yeah, here. So this one is produced by Matt. Here.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, this is one of my best songs, man. Dirty Secrets. I got a lot of dirty secrets that I keep in mind, and as I keep on winding time, I'll repeat the line. But will you learn? Or will you change? You Don't spill it all on chains. I be stuck inside a rut and I got the ball and chains. I be going off the rails and I ain't talking trains. So in other words, don't take me for no kiddie show. Okay. So I've been going off the rails, but I ain't talking trains, so don't take me for no kiddie show. That's a bar. That's a bar, man. That's bars. And like, yeah, no, like just leave it right there. You can walk away right now. Cause like when I made that line and I wrote that line, I was like, "Yo, that's fire." Cause like, so I said like, I think it was, okay, I be going off the rails, but I ain't talking trains. So in other words, don't take me for no kiddie show. So obviously the first part you can kind of understand what I'm saying. But then when I say, but I ain't talking trains, so don't take me for no kiddie show. I'm talking about the Thomas Tank Engine.
Yeah.
Saying I ain't a talking train, so don't take me for a kiddie show. So don't take me for a joke.
Yeah.
I'm not a joke. And like I was kind of like, it's all in there. Like, yo, Matt, well, buddy, you look faded.
I'm thinking about it. Like,
yeah, but
Matthew's connecting the references. Like, oh shit, there's so.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's in space right now. He's looking at it.
Bro,
Words are
can I be
floating
honest with
around
you?
right now.
That was a train. Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what that line is. But like yeah, like knowledge. You gotta be quick with it.
So
You gotta be. Yeah.
that actually brings me to my next question. Like,
Yeah.
without having musical knowledge or without having like a hone on like English language or like just having the ability to like make word plays like that, you know, or like make references like that, do you really think an artist without having any of this make meaningful songs?
I feel like, well, not all music is lyrical. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have classic music, like just piano,
Or like
guitar.
Lil Pump, sing
Huh?
for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, those are the ones that don't have any meaning to it. You know what I mean? Maybe not Gucci Gang because that was fucking genius, but like, I mean, I wish I came up with that song, man.
What
Like, Gucci Gang. No, but no, like when we're talking about like, can you make meaningful music without really? I feel like everybody has the capability of doing it. It's just the fact that they just don't want to, or that
They're
they
making money
feel
off
like they got themselves in the style now. It's working. It's the formula.
like now,
And
same sound. the first album.
like, yeah. I mean, hey, like, again,
Eric doesn't want any smoke with any artist.
Not right now. Yeah, not right now, man.
No, but you're planning to make those diss tracks, eh?
Huh?
Man's planning to make those diss tracks once he blows up.
Well, we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna be a very big diss track guy, to be honest with you, man. Like, I mean, I know how to diss. I have some skating disses. Like, I can diss, but I don't know if
copies. You could diss Eminem. You know, you could have a battle off with him.
That's a quick way to kill yourself.
That's not going down.
Yeah, that's not how you do it.
You're gonna have to switch up genres like Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah.
I went from rap to rock.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But you know what? Maybe like I feel like, you know what? Like, again, like I feel like it's all opinion based. So it's like if you have a fan base that likes what you do,
yeah.
They're like, hey, they like
essentially,
it.
It doesn't matter if you make meaningful songs. Like if you can have a fan base that listens to anything you put out, then it doesn't really matter. You're gonna sell the record.
I mean, like I would be one to talk here if I said basically from the state of, or from the point of view of like everyone likes my music. I know a lot of people don't like my music. I know a lot of people do, but I know a lot of people don't, and that's fine. That's fine. You know what? It's not for everybody.
True.
It's like it's music, bro. It's subjective. Like you can, like, you know, your opinion. It's opinion based. So hey, like
Agreed.
I might not rock with, as you said before, like I personally don't listen to Cardi, like Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
But I know some people do. And it's like, hey, if you find something in there that you like, fucking go for it, man. It's not my style. I'm not gonna listen to it. But you know what? Hey, he's getting his money. So like, yo, like he's doing his thing. That's all I'm gonna say. Like he's doing his thing, man. Like
he's doing the mid rock in New York.
Yeah, bro. Like he's doing his thing, man. Like again, it's not my style. But
Matthew, do you wanna bust some Millie Rock moves?
Woo. Woo. Yeah. You know what kills me, man? When I hear little kids, like when you start doing the fucking Millie Rock and they're like, "You're doing a Fortnite dance." Yo, shut up, man. You know, Fortnite dance.
It's sad.
Oh no.
Okay. Bob Smoke.
No, we're back, man. We're back.
Oh shit, is my mic okay?
Matt, you good?
Do you want to ask him the very last question for this podcast?
Holy smokes! Last question?
Yeah.
You want more?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't mind.
It goes fast, man.
Yeah, I know it does. I mean, I looked at the clock. I think
I might have more. I might have another question if I can, or more if I can think it off the top of my head. What I'm trying to say right now is, all all right, so I know this is gonna sound cringy, but like I feel like me and you are like a reflection, like in a mirror, right? And I feel like we're
Yeah.
polar opposites, but we're like coming to the same
I don't know.
the same shit. Right?
I wouldn't call us polar opposites, man.
We're like similar and different in ways.
Yeah.
Like the thing is like, and what I mean by that is like you're an artist right now, but you're getting into beat making, right? And I'm a producer that started off beat making, but now I'm getting into like vocals and like singing vocals and putting it on instrumentals to like, so like that's what I mean. Like when I'm like
so
comparing us, like
we're
you
going
started
off. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like we're coming to like a similar situation where it's like you started off with like rapping and vocals, and now you're getting into learning the piano, like the keys, and then making beats out of that. And I started off learning the keys like through my sister and stuff, and then making beats, and now I'm getting into like the vocal side of things. So what I wanted to ask you was, do you think beats are more important than lyrics, or like what are your thoughts on that?
Shit, man, it depends on what type of music you're listening to.
Especially in the climate like that we have today, where it's like the lyrics can be so garbage, but like as long as the beat is good, like people will listen to it.
Yeah. Heather's gonna try and get me in trouble again.
No. I've already roasted Lil Pump today. I'm done for today.
All right. No, you know what? Like, again, like, because there's so many subgenres of like rap and hip hop and stuff like that, and like, it'd be ignorant to like be like, yo, lyrical rap is the only rap that's rap. Like, me personally, I feel like it should be more on the lyrical end because that's the roots of the sound.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, hey, like someone has a different interpretation of the art, right? You know what I'm saying? So like if someone feels like it should be more this than what I think, then hey, go for it, dude. But like if you're listening to like a trap album, or like when they get into mumble rap stuff, excuse me, that has more of a focus on the beats, Jesus Christ, excuse me, the production of the music. Because like, and that's like I have an issue with, you know, like producers not getting paid enough and stuff like that, because a lot of their stuff carries a lot of these artists, like puts the artist and their whole career on their back and trudges them through the Sahara Desert, like carries them. And you know, like, and it depends, like again, like it depends on what type of music you're listening to. If you're listening to like that, you know, like the more lyrical end of music, of rap music, then yeah, you're definitely getting into that lane of like lyrics are your or like your main thing, because it is, man. It's like there's no way around it. Like if you're a lyrical artist, you better bring that fire. Like you better bring that heat, man. Like because if you're not doing it, then what are you doing? Because that's your brand. You're a lyrical artist, you know. So like you got to be able to do that stuff. But yeah, Moish, yeah.
I think that was the very last question for this podcast. And I will now conclude this episode by saying thank you so much, Erik.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for making so much worthy of having you as our guest.
Yo, you know what, man? Like,
episode 2.
Yeah, episode 2. You know what? Like, like you were giving me compliments on my music. Like, you guys have some good talking points, man. It's cool. Like, I like listening to you guys, and I definitely. Like I wanted to come on. I've been itching to do something like this for so long, man. Like I've been wanting to do a fucking podcast. Like, no one's
when you win your first Grammy, don't forget to shout us out, bro.
Win your first Grammy. I mean, apparently Grammys don't even give out worthy Grammys anymore, so I doubt that's gonna happen. But
true.
You know, like,
I lost faith in the Grammys when they gave Macklemore the best album of the year, I think, for rap, and that year Kendrick Lamar dropped.
Kendrick Lamar, yeah, I know. Now, again, I'm not going to say anything.
So for the outro, we're going to be playing one of Erik's new singles that's unreleased. So you heard it first on this podcast. It's called Hi Goodbye. And as we conclude this podcast, I shall be playing that song. Plug yourself.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Just real quick, for anybody who's heard my music before, I used to go under the name of just Mustafa, like that. I ended up changing my name to my full name, so Erik Mustafa. So all my old stuff is still under the name Mustafa. So if you rock with that shit, take your ass over to the new profile page. On Apple Music, it got changed pretty nicely, so it's just Erik Mustafa there. So whatever you listen to now on Apple Music, it's just that. But on Spotify, it got a little bit messed up. So yeah, like my newest stuff is gonna be releasing on the Erik Mustafa account. So right now I have my single out called Fantasyland, and I think it's doing pretty decent right now. It's a pretty deep song, and yeah, man, I hope you like it. So yeah.
For sure.
I wanna say hi, goodbye, hi, goodbye, hi. digging how you faking a smile. Life ain't changing as well. Ridicule for just taking your time. In a loop, escape from my mind. I need a break from these bonds. I'm a slave to my routine. It's all the same, man. I think I'm losing my fucking grip. Fuck is this? Couple nights I take the drugs to take the pain away. Tough pill to swallow, tougher than my day to day. Hold on still for tomorrow. Open lid of the soul, I take a sip, yeah. And then I trip from this war, yeah. The shit is so boring, signs miss. I'm ignoring when I'm going.